So I'm a longtime user of the AORUS Gaming Box. It originally was a 1080. I upgraded it to a 3060. Then I upgraded to a 3060 Ti for extra performance. And then the 4000 series came out, and none of them were small enough to actually fit in the AORUS Gaming Box. But finally, the 4060 Ti came out, and I looked at the performance figures and realized that's not very compelling. So I found the smallest 4070 available, and it was 225 millimeters, which the maximum this supports is 200 millimeters. So what did I do? Did I give up? No, I designed and printed this extension for the AORUS Gaming Box, and I now have a 4070 eGPU in this form factor. So I'm going to show you how I did it, but first, a word from our sponsor. Softwarekeep. As tech enthusiasts, we're always needing licenses to power the software on our computers, but that doesn't mean we have to pay full price. Whether it's Windows 10, 11, Office, or Antivirus, Softwarekeep has you covered with software keys to keep you in the game and for way less money. In fact, you can expect to save 25% or more over Microsoft retail pricing. I use Softwarekeep to get up and running on the latest version of Office Standalone, and the experience, price, and 24/7 customer service and the lifetime guarantee can make you feel good about your purchase. Don't waste money paying full price or paying for illegitimate keys. They aren't going to last. Softwarekeep is the best and most affordable way to get legitimate licenses for the software products you need the most. And the deal just gets sweeter. Use my exclusive discount code to get an extra 20% off your next product key. See the link in the description below and rest easy knowing that you're getting legitimate products at the best possible price. And with that, thanks to Softwarekeep for sponsoring this video, and on to the content. I mentioned on a previous video, like, hey, I'm going to upgrade this once the 4060 Ti comes out, move it up a generation. But then I saw the benchmarks on the 4060 Ti, and while yes, it was a more efficient card, it wasn't super exciting in terms of performance. It was, in some cases not quicker than the 3060 Ti, and in other cases just, maybe 5-10% quicker. I did what I was contemplating a while back on doing and picked this guy up. This is the Zotac Gaming 4070, and it is too big for this eGPU enclosure. So I'm going to get creative. I'm going to use my 3D printers. I'm going to use some engineering and try to find a way to make this card fit inside this device. So let's take a look at this Zotac card. Okay, so once we get out of the box, here's what this guy looks like. And if I hold this up to just a little too big for it, by about an inch. So that's going to be a problem. So I have engineered a little bit of a solution, or attempted to. So here is my plan. First step is, and I didn't start out nilly-willy doing this, but here's the front of my AORUS Gaming Box right now. It has been opened up to allow a longer card fit in here. Right now the 3060 Ti is still in here. And what I'm going to be doing is I have designed and 3D printed this part, and what this is going to allow us to do is use the screw holes on the side and extend the card out and still be able to cap this off like this. Sorry, I have this on backwards. That's the problem. Okay, we'll be able to and with that we'll be able to cap it off like this, extending it by about an inch. And the cool thing about this is it doesn't really change the look, size, or function of the device. I'll still be able to use it. I use it standing up quite a bit because it's just easier to access the ports on the top that way. I always kind of use it standing up like this, so this allows me to continue to do that. You saw that I had put feet on the front at one point and just had it like a little mini tower. So we'll throw some clips in of what I did to get it to this point, but there's still some issues. We got to see if this card still fits, because there's some cabling and stuff in here that I really don't want to have to grind down the card. I mean, I would much rather not damage the expensive card, because the card is way more expensive than this XG mobile enclosure. However, I think I'm going to have to nick a little bit off the edge of this card, but we'll see. Also, you can stylize it with your logo like I did. All right, so at this point, we just need to make our opening. So I put some tape down. I'm going to measure this out and cut out basically a notch here, and our 3D printed piece will go on the top here. Also, you want to be careful to not chop any cables, so I've taped all the cables away from it. Ideally, you would completely disassemble this, but I don't think I necessarily need to do what I need to do. So I'm going to try to drill this out. Okay, and with that, we've got the slot opened up so we can put our 3D printed cap on and have room for the graphics card to tuck into there. So hopefully this looks better when finished. Obviously it will, but here's where we are right now. This is the smallest dimensional size of 4070, and it is 225 millimeters long. And this one in here is 200 millimeters long, so I had to add about 25 millimeters to this thing. The question is, how much is it going to bump into this clip right here? Because if it bumps into it too much, we're probably going to be SOL without removing the board and resoldering this power connector, which I really don't want to have to do. Okay, so we're definitely having an issue. This back plate is coming into contact with those wires. Not to mention the PCB of this board looks like it also is going to hit into that plastic connector, which is, this is actually really bad. Really bad. Okay, drawing board. You reach a point in every YouTuber's life where you have to decide between doing something incredibly stupid and giving up. And I'm probably just going to do the stupid thing, which involves taking a Dremel to this backplate and shaving it from about here to here. So that's what I'm gonna do. And hey, I do not recommend doing this. This is incredibly stupid, like legit stupid. Like, this is very stupid. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't do this. You can if you want, but taking a Dremel to a brand new card is just kind of, it's really stupid just to make it work in here. But my thought is, I've never had to RMA a video card, and I've bought a lot of video cards. And if I don't plan on screwing up the card. I personally don't think I'm going to ruin the card just by, you know, cutting a chunk of metal out of here. However, this is not a bang for your buck. This is not a video that's telling you like, oh, here's a slick way to get an eGPU for cheap, because this card alone was $599. So it's a $600 card, which is not cheap. But also it did come with it came with Diablo 4, so that's like a $60 off type of thing, because I was going to play that game anyways. I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just trying to say I know this is stupid, and I'm going to go be stupid with it. So I'll be back. I'm back from being stupid, and cut my notch out right here, and I think it's just barely going to work. So let's see if this will fit in here now. Just barely. So let's see. Okay. It's definitely on there now. Okay. Now these fans are a centimeter longer as well in the outer dimension. This fan doesn't want to clear. There we go. However, we're gonna have an issue because that fan is hitting. So well, let's get some screws in it and see if it's still rubbing, because it might just not be square right now. All right, so that is in there. And ooh, now that that's squared up, the fan is actually spinning okay. So that's a relief. I'll probably still put something in here to just, you know, like some tape or something, just to push it off so that doesn't become an issue. Now, this is the 3D printed piece that I put together, and we got to see if that's actually going to give us the clearance we need. And it looks like it needs like another millimeter. Yeah, I think that's rubbing up against it. I need to add about a millimeter to the print, make it extend out just a little bit further to cater to this. But that's actually okay, because I was going to make it so it's screwed on these two sides, but also redesign it so that it has a flap on this side that also screws down on these two sides, so it's a very secure piece of kit. And then it will basically look like this when we're said and done. So we'll do a little revision to this, and also right now I'm going to power this up and see if I've broken it or not. So let's do that first. Things are definitely coming together. Got the AORUS Gaming Box with the 4070 in it, actually running just fine. And I need to finalize the 3D printed piece, because it just needs a few little adjustments to the fit, but I will make that file available. But just doing some benchmarks now. But so far, once the driver got installed, there's always blue screen issues with the GPUs, but once you get them nailed down, it seems to be doing pretty well. Okay, so just to give you an idea of the scores that I got on this machine versus my 3060 Ti. So, I mean, if you compare this to the 1080 that was originally in this chassis, you'd be like, whoa, this is a huge improvement. But anyways, on Time Spy, I got a 12527 stock without any overclocking or tweaking or anything. That's just stock levels, 200 watts. On the 3060 Ti, which is also 200 watt, it got a, what's my score here? It was a 9090 on the graphics side. So that's like a 38% improvement in performance with this extended to 4070. So that's the 3060 Ti to 4070, extra 38% improvements, which is much better than what I would have gotten on the 4060 Ti. The other major benefit is the 4070 is pretty efficient even if you reduce the wattage. So this is a 200 watt card in general, and you can reduce the power consumption to, you know, like 60%, 70%, 60, 70%, and it uses, you know, a ton less power, and it basically gets very close to the same performance. You only lose like 5-10% performance, and you reduce, you know, 50 watts off this thing. So very efficient. It really lends itself to the size. It's really funny that they haven't made smaller 4070 cards. Be really nice for small form factor people. But yeah, if you want to do this to your own XG Mobile, I will provide a link to the STL so you can 3D print this extender yourself. But yeah, 4070 in this tiny little form factor, you know, it's almost as good as an XG Mobile, but definitely tons cheaper. So anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. Always doing crazy stuff with notebooks, tech, graphics cards, AI, whatever. So yeah, give me a subscribe, and if you like this video, if it helped you out, if you make your own, let me know about it, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.